Guess what, guys? Anthuriums don't need high humidity. And by the way, this is a pretty humid day for winter. Usually it's down to like 35, sometimes even down to 25% humidity. There might as well be no humidity in here. Hello everyone, welcome to The Mess. My name is Jake, also known as Plant Gay for Life. Okay, in this video, I want to take you on a little tour, or like I guess a plant haul, I don't know, of all the anthuriums in my collection, in my home, that are growing without the assistance of humidifiers, without the assistance of enclosed spaces for high humidity. They're growing in my humidity where in the wintertime, it's as low as 30 or even 25%. In the summertime, it might get up to 60% on a rainy day, but usually it's 45 to 55 in the summertime, which is pretty average, not super high. Definitely doesn't compare to the tropical climate they originate from. And that says a lot about anthuriums and aroids overall. They are some of the most adaptable plants you can buy for your home, okay? So let's just get right into it. All right, where's the first one? Well, I guess we'll get to the first one right here. Let's just get him out of the way. This is Anthurium schizerianum or schizerianum. It's Cher. It's Cher. I'm Cher, bitch! It looks very similar to the common one you see at garden centers, except it has a coiled inflorescence, which is very, very cool. It does like to stay moist though, and all of my anthuriums, pretty much all of them, they are in vessels, so either plastic containers or vases without any drainage holes. And look at those roots. Those roots look beautiful because they are in a humid environment. Right here is like a mini greenhouse of sorts, you feel me? So now that we've gotten him out of the way, let's move on to a species that a lot of people grow, not everyone has the most success with, but I'm gonna show you one that's doing pretty well. Here it is, guys, the Queen Diva herself, Anthurium warockianum. Also known as the Queen Anthurium. This is the plant that everyone wants to grow, not everyone seems to be able to grow. And it's one of those plants where if you know what it wants and you can just be consistent with that, then it's great. But if you don't really know what you're doing and your care routine is not super consistent, then it might not be the best houseplant for you. This guy was looking great and doing great up until last night when he fell. He was hanging in a pot because of these leaves, and he fell. And he was in a vase similar to this, and he fell and it broke. And I was like, ah. Because I am currently making a warockianum care video in low humidity. I don't know what I'm gonna call it. I'm basically trying to grow warockianums for you guys in ambient conditions. No pampering whatsoever, only utilizing the no drainage hole vessel system thing that I use. Because you know, it's not no drainage, it's no drainage holes, you feel me? See, guys, there is drainage. Like, there is drainage, but there's no drainage holes. But the free draining substrate, that is the drainage. So as long as the plant has aeration and drainage, it doesn't need drainage holes, right? So yeah, he fell. You can see, oh boy. Yeah, you can see right there, this leaf ripped a little bit, so that'll probably turn a little brown in the coming days. I wanted to shoot this video now while he still looked kind of cute. They are notorious for letting their older leaves go a little bit to shit when the new leaves come in. So this was the first leaf that it put out in my care when I got it. This was an import, by the way. And it rehabbed pretty well. Pretty much all of my warockianums that I'm doing for my video, which I will release probably sometime in the spring because most of them need to grow out a little bit more. But yeah, I have small warocks, I have big mature ones, I have medium-sized ones like this. I got them all. So I want to experiment with different sizes and see, you know, like, are big ones harder to acclimate than smaller ones like people say, or is it all the same? So far it's kind of been all the same. Now I'm gonna tell you guys right now, I don't think this is a humidity thing, because let me tell you something, I had a queen in my terrarium, 90+% humidity, and it looked like utter crap. I actually took it out and I put it into an aroid mix. I'm experimenting with vases, and then I'm also doing traditional aroid mix. So I'm putting that in an aroid mix to see how that one does. And guys, it's already looking better than it ever was in the terrarium. So These guys, they don't need high humidity because I gave it high humidity and it wasn't loving life at all. It was pretty sour. So now it's finally looking better. These guys, they don't like to dry at all. So I actually always keep a little bit of water sitting at the bottom because I find that when they start to dry out, and actually this might have been the culprit to this guy drying out, because there was a time when he did dry out and I was like, oh no, are you getting dry rot? Thankfully, he didn't get dry rot. He was just fine. But yeah, so these guys, they like to have water all the time. Perpetual moisture, guys, which I find interesting because this is an epiphytic species. These grow up trees. So you would think maybe they'd be more like orchids where they want to dry out a little bit in between waterings. They want a lot of air. Not really. They want to stay pretty wet. But yeah, so far I would say that's the secret to growing warrocks, is you gotta keep them perpetually wet. Not sitting in water, but just wet. And again, this is not sitting in water. These are semi-hydroponic roots, so it's not quite the same as sitting in water. If this was soil, if this was airwood mix and there was water sitting down there, that would not be good, okay? Because it's a free draining base at the bottom, a little bit of water can sit at the bottom, so. But yeah, there is Warocleanum. Let's move on to somebody else. Oh my goodness. This is an example of one that has never grown in a no drainage hole vessel like the other guys do. This one has always grown either in a wooden basket or, as of right now, a terracotta pot that's porous all around. You know, because terracotta does wick away moisture. Has a drainage hole at the bottom, all that traditional stuff. And he actually is flowering since I repotted him in this. So he seems to be happy. Now, if you look at these leaves, he doesn't look the sexiest as he used to. As he's gotten bigger and his root system has grown, he has required more water, so he sucks up more water. So me watering him once a week just gradually wasn't enough, and he would dry out a little bit quicker, but I wasn't watering him more, so he was slowly kind of getting a little bit crappy. So this is not a humidity thing, this is an underwatering thing. You see that? I would cut off this leaf, but this is the leaf that is putting out this flower, and I'm not sure if cutting off the leaf might have some effect on the flower, because every leaf puts out a flower. That's how Anthuriums flower. He's got 2 growth points right there, and he's like 2-3 years old, so I've had him in my collection for a while. That's the nub of a leaf that looked very crappy, and I cut it off. But I kept the stem just in case a flower wants to pop out. Just in case. Here is a new leaf here. That's from underwatering. Here's also the newest leaf from the other growth point. That's also from underwatering. Very similar to the warrock that we just saw, right? So this right here, when a new leaf is coming in and the water runs out, the leaf runs out. The leaf can't continue growing, so it becomes a little bit warped or stunted. These are more forgiving when it comes to drying out compared to something like a warrock. So these are not quite as difficult. Maybe like 3-4 months ago, he was looking freaking stunning and big and had really long leaves, but I cut off a few of them, so he's a little bit thin right now. But he's gonna grow back out, guys, and he's gonna look fabulous. I grew him in the cabinet with high humidity. He was doing fine. Did I tell you could go to sleep? Anyway, the show must go on. I'm going to brighten this in post-production to compensate for the loss of light. So 3, 2, 1, and... But there is Paludiflorum, guys. Pretty good one for ambient conditions. It's usually pretty good, but I want to show you guys the results of underwatering, okay? Oh my goodness. It's just a black hole leaf. You can't even see it. This is my black swan. It is a no ID. I have a whole video on it. If I can remember, I will link it below. But yeah, it's a no ID. Long story short, a guy tried to scam me by sending me the wrong plant that I had originally thought I was buying. He sent me a dreg. The dreg turned into this beautiful thing. And it's blocking me right now. The light's not the best right now because my stupid light turned off. But I'll put in a picture of what the leaf looks like under proper lighting because it's like a purple blue. It's like spilt oil. It's freaking beautiful. The only time spilt oil looks good is when it's on this leaf. Oh my gosh. So I would consider this the ambassador to pretty much all Anthurium hybrids. They're faster growing and they're hardier, guys. They're just hardier. I don't know what it is, but they're hardier. And this guy, he is rotund. Oh my goodness. Now let me show you, because these are some older leaves that have gotten a little bit crispy around the edges. This was actually a top cut. I actually propped the mother. I was very, very nervous. First time I propped her ever. So these leaves had some nutrients and some energy drawn from them into creating a healthy, vigorous root system when I replanted her. So yeah, these leaves went a little bit chate, but that's okay, guys, because look at that color. It's still beautiful. And it's putting out new leaves. This leaf, it may have gotten attacked by thrips or something, but it got some blemishes and stuff. But overall, guys, it's so freaking black, you can almost not even see the imperfections and the blemishes. But look at that, guys. How do I do a thumbnail? I'll do a thumbnail at the end. Is this a thumbnail? I feel like I need all the plants with me for the thumbnail. Vessel, no drainage holes. I just recently repotted him, so you can't really see any roots. They still have to grow in. And you know what, guys? I lied. We're gonna throw in another hybrid because this is a very special boy. This is my Mr. Triangle. He is Pedata radiatum and Clarinervium crossed together. The same cross as the famous Deltaphorus, but not the Deltaphorus. A completely different parentage and, you know, made in Indonesia, you know, totally unrelated, but very similar triangle leaf, different coloration to the leaf, different venation. I think this is I think it's prettier, to be honest. It's like, it's more muted. It's just a different vibe from the Deltaphorus, but I love this thing. And he's looking a little bit thin right now because I propped him pretty aggressively a few months ago, but he's putting out a new leaf right there, and he's just fine, guys. He's just fine. Let me show you some healthy roots. This is what healthy roots look like, okay, guys? You see that? Those are healthy roots. Oh, I thought that was a rotted root. No, I thought that was a rotted root. No, it's just dirty. It just has gunk on it. But those are healthy roots, guys. That's what you want to see. It's got those Clarinervium thick roots. That's some thick. That's that jelly, baby. Here's the next one, guys. There's no light. There's the light. You know what, sir? I hope you can see how beautiful this leaf is. This is Ace of Spades. This is the NSC Ace of Spades, the classic Ace of Spades. And this is the newest leaf it has put out since I chopped it all the way back. I didn't propagate it. I underwatered it. I didn't care for it enough because it was a pretty hardy specimen, so I was kind of like taking advantage of it. I was like, oh, I'll water it tomorrow. And then like 2 weeks go by, I didn't water it. So all the other leaves got a little bit chate, as we say. So I chopped them all off. I put them in my grow tent. Again, guys, the grow tent, it's really just for all the ugly stuff. The overflow, basically. It's the overflow. It's not, again, there's no high humidity in there. It's just a grow light and like a tent that's opened all the time in my closet. And then I close the closet when company comes over so nobody can see it. And then all my pretty plants go on display. You feel me? So now that this is a pretty plant, I can put them back out on display. Because look at that beautiful leaf. That is a perfect leaf. First leaf it's put out since I repotted it into this after chopping all the leaves off. Beautiful, beautiful root system. A little bit of water at the bottom. You can kind of see some, not condensation, but like a little bit of moisture in between the fluval rocks right there. And just a beautiful plant. Look at the veins. Veins! Oh! Did I ever show off the giant Magnificum Luxuriance hybrid that I had? It was giant. It was a little bit too giant because I was running out of space for it. But yeah, that thing went a little bit to shit too. And now we're down to this. So this is what happens, guys, when you excuse me, hair, get out of the mouth. That's not where you belong. Very rude. The hair has a mind of its own. Ugh, it's too fabulous. Anyway, so this is what happens when you underwater your Anthuriums. Your leaves go shitty. I should have kept at least one on so I could show you what they look like, but they were just brown and crisping and just not looking good, just looking kind of gray. Just not looking good. So I chopped him all the way back. I repotted him into a slightly larger vase so that he would be able to have more moisture available to him for a longer period of time because More space means more moisture, right? He's rooting very well, and he's putting out a beautiful new leaf, and this leaf is going to get gigantic. Just you wait. If this is how big the leaf is, as big, guys, as big as my hand. If this is what the little leaf looks like when it's just coming in, because you know they come in tiny as fuck. When this thing blows up, it's going to eat me. Another Anthurium that grows just fine in low humidity, and I think most people already know this, but I'm gonna feature him anyway, is Veitchii. Now, I'm pretty smitten with the narrow form, I'm not gonna lie. The wide form is just a little bit too, like, when they get mature, the edges are kind of undulated, and it's just kind of warped and weird, and I'm just not really a fan. But the narrow form, I'm kind of debating, like, is this even the narrow form? Because it's like a wideish narrow form. I don't know. It's a little bit hard to tell because look, it has that McDonald's M thing going on. It has that alien looking ribbing that the narrow form has. So I'm pretty sure it's the narrow form, but it has yet to put out a new leaf. That's the thing about these. They are very, very slow growing. That's kind of the thing with species. They can sometimes be very slow growing, and this one is no exception. But he is rooting very, very well. He's in a cute little vase. He was an import from either Ecuador or Tropicals, I forget. I was just craving a Veitchii after mine died several months ago, and I wanted a new one for a really long time. So I got this guy. He dropped like 2 or 3 leaves. He kept these 2. I just stuck them onto my cabinet wall, my terrarium. He rooted out. Great. Took him out, put him in moss, and he's been just fine. So yeah, Veitchii is great. You don't need high humidity. You just need to have patience because they're not going to grow very fast for you. But we're not talking about Anthuriums that are fast growing in this video, are we? We're talking about Anthuriums that can grow in a low humidity. Again, guys, it gets down to like 30% in the winter time, and these things don't care. They don't care! All right, next one. Probably the more popular friend to the Pally, no offense Pally, is the Wenlingeri because of that corkscrew inflorescence. He has flowered for me once. When they first flower, they tend to not really be corkscrewed. They need to put out, I think, a couple of flowers to mature enough to get that corkscrew. So it was long, don't get me wrong. I don't know if I took a picture. If I took a picture, I'll put it in, but I don't know. Very slow growing. Pally is kind of moderately slow growing too. This guy, at least for me, this guy, also very slow growing, but he sized up pretty nicely. Leaf to leaf, they do size up pretty fast, but they don't put out leaves very fast, if that makes sense. And since repotting him maybe 3-4 weeks ago, he's putting out all these beautiful roots. He's just in a to go. I can't talk. And you know what, I need a sip of... Guys, I didn't know Turkey Hill made iced tea. I thought they just made ice cream. The problem is iced tea makes you more thirsty. I'm still parched. Anyway, so yeah, he is about to put out a new leaf right there. He's in the preliminary stages of working on that new leaf. This was the newest leaf right there, that nub. It came in like down to here. The problem is I repotted him while the leaf was still a little bit floppy, and the leaf actually kind of coiled. It actually was a leaf that looked like it wanted to be an inflorescence. So yeah, it didn't look, hair please, it didn't look that nice. It just looked kind of warped. So, you know, and that's not the look I want. I want long, straight, pendant leaves. This is the only thing straight in my household that I want. Yeah, pendant Anthuriums, they're quite easy as well. I don't find them to be any more difficult than any other Anthurium. I don't find them to have any particular quirks when it comes to care. I think they can handle drying out a little bit, but they do like to stay hydrated, don't get me wrong. One thing that these have, that not all Pallies have, they have the rippled, again, this leaf is so dark, you can't see. Do you see the ripple? Oh, there it is. Do you see the rippled? The rippled. Oh yeah. The younger one, not so much, but the newer ones, oh yeah. And let's feature one of the hot chicks in town these days. This is not a crystallinum. Looks kind of like a crystallinum. For those of you who are not into the like super novelty Anthurium world, this is Carla Black, named after Carla Black. Some people just call them Carla. And it's kind of like a crystallinum, but they have these super dark leaves with this super vibrant venation. Look at that. It's just like a more aggressive crystal, if that even makes sense. It's been reported that these have also been the victim of poaching, I recently found out. So yes, we need to make sure that we only buy seed-grown specimens if possible. So yes, we need to be responsible when we get into the more novelty plants. Also, succulents, caudex plants. I mean, there are so many plants, even just common plants, that are being poached from the wild. So we need to be very mindful of that, so we don't continue feeding the market and allowing the poaching to happen. Because at the end of the day, guys, the poachers are not the problem. We're the problem. It's just the truth. I mean, I'm just being very honest with you, darling. So he is not growing in metal. Let me take him out real quick. He fits in here perfectly. He looks kind of adorable in this thing. Cylindrical vase, so I can pull him out when the time comes to repot. Probably when this new leaf comes in, I probably could repot him because he is starting to put out quite a bit of roots. And he could really spread his legs out a little bit more. This is the only leaf that went to shit. This was one of the OG leaves that I got him with. I got this from Scott Cohen, who sells plants by Rory Antelock, which is what formerly Diva, now known as Anthurium, is named after. But they do a plant sale on Time to Splurge and Purge. Yeah, that's the one. I rehabbed him after shipping. I acclimated him to my space in my little tank with my Kunailenses and my Dresslery, and it was doing so great. It was sizing up fast. I was like, you know what? Can we try? Let me just take it out. Let me just take it out and put it in ambient. It was just fine, guys. It was just fine. This leaf came in low humidity. And by low humidity, I mean under 50%, probably under 40%. This leaf came in, it's been sizing up pretty nicely, I have to say, and also pretty fast. I would say I've only had this for maybe like 3 months and it's put out 3 or 4 leaves, so I would say it's pretty fast. I love this thing. I love this thing so much. He's got like this sheen. Are you seeing? Yeah, you can kind of see right there. Anyway, you're like, Jake, what are you doing with the leaf? Okay, put him down. Put him down before you break him. Oh, and again, guys, I keep the moss, he's planted in moss, I keep the moss wet. I make sure it's always hydrated. I make sure, oh my God, I'm just like a mess. I make sure that when I touch the top, that I feel moisture on my finger. If I don't really feel moisture, and I'm like, oh, you're kind of damp, but you're kind of getting dry, I water him. And I leave a little bit of water at the bottom. I water it until a little bit of water pools at the bottom. If too much water pools up, then I will dump him, dump a little bit out. Dump him. I'm dumping you. No, I would dump a little bit out in the sink. So just a little bit is sitting at the bottom of the reservoir. And that's it. I mentioned this briefly a second ago. This is Black Velvet Eastern Panama, now known as Anthurium. So it's Anthurium, formerly known as Black Velvet Eastern Panama, or BVEP for short. That's the acronym for that long-ass name. I kind of liked the old name better. It just sounded cooler. But he's also growing in a vase. I would say he grows average, but sizes up pretty nicely. I got him when he was teeny tiny. This might have been the biggest leaf. You can see it down there. I don't know. And you know, he hasn't been the easiest. You know, he has warped a little bit of his leaves on occasion, but this leaf looks like it's coming in pristine. Look at that. Sometimes it can come in a little maroon or burgundy like this. I had a friend who had one that had put out a super red leaf. And usually Anthuriums put out more vibrant, emergent colors in cooler temperatures. So wintertime is where the party happens. Am I missing any? Oh, guys, I have a couple more. Hold on. Oh boy. Oh no. Oh God. Oh, they're too big, guys. They're too big! They're too big! I grew these from seed, guys. And they're going to destroy me one of these days. They're going to destroy... This is literally the ending to Little Shop of Horrors. Look at this! These plants are 2 years old from seed. And I've never grown them in high humidity, guys. They've been growing in ambient conditions. Look at these things! Oh my goodness. Wow. Now, some brownie eyes have long petioles for some people. These have quite short petioles. These are the last two that I have. I gave all the others away, but these two, this was the biggest one. This is the fastest growing, biggest one. And then this one, do you see how they're a little bit different? You know what, the leaf kind of looks like that neck thing that you have when you're on a plane, that like little neck pillow thing. What do you call that thing? You know? And then you have this one, it's a little bit more narrow, a little bit wider. But just beautiful, like imposing. Oh, wait a minute, I need to, guys, I can't even, oh my goodness, wow, that is, I'm speechless, guys, look at this thing. I'm just very happy because I grew this from seed. Not as a seedling, not as a small plant, as a seed. Look at this. Woo-wee! Sphagnum moss with some fluva at the bottom. And guys, this moss is pretty dry right now. They're both pretty dry, so brownie eyes, they can take a beating. They are great houseplants. If you want a big statement aeroid, nice big beautiful anthurium, brownie eye is the way to go, guys. Oh, and by the way, there's another plant. I want to finish off this video with another plant that looks similar, but a little bit different. But it's also in the same vein. Is it in the same section? Anthuriums are classified in different sections in terms of breeding. And usually they have similar traits in each section. I'm gonna double check that, but they're probably in the same section. Oh God, oh, this guy takes the cake. The award for best bitch goes to, oh my goodness. This is my, oh God, this is my biggest anthurium ever, guys. Oh, so, not quite as meaty as the other guys. They don't grow as compact. They grow a little bit taller, as you can see in the petioles. The leaves, at least on my specimen, they're a little bit more like, they got that gay wrist thing going on like anthuriums do, whereas the other one is growing a little bit kind of, I don't know, like compact, or the leaves are kind of growing out. I don't know, anyway. But these, a little bit different growth pattern, and what I love about this, is that, I mean, when it was juvenile, it was more prevalent, but it has red stems. Do you see? Oh, you can't see. You can't see. Can you see that? Wait a minute. If I just turn it around, turn the plant around. Okay, are you seeing, he's heavy. Are you seeing that? Oh, yeah. This is the newest leaf. Oh, this is the newest leaf since I repotted him. Unlike the other guys, when this one flowers, it's actually quite beautiful. It's a pendant, kind of upside down, pink inflorescence. It's really, really cool. But the problem is these have to get really, really big to flower. Some anthuriums can flower when they're small, like that guy over there. That little guy. But this one, not so much. So I want to size him up, just get a nice big monster meaty plant, and then maybe one day he'll finally flower for me. Oh, sorry, let me show you. So he's in this basket thing, but let me show you what he's planted in. Oh! And I have a video of this guy that I will also link below of me repotting him. But yeah, there it is. He's just in a cylindrical vase. About maybe like 1.5 inches, 2 inches of, what is that, pumice? Pumice or pawn? I forget what I used. They're the same thing, I don't care. I don't care what you say, they're the same freaking thing. And then moss and a little bit of aeroid mix mixed in there, but mostly moss. And then some decorative preserved green dye moss on top, just for the aesthetics. Look at this meaty, woolly, I'm saying meaty a lot in this video. I'm not really digging it. Look at this, they're woolly, that's the word. Look at this, I'm so out of breath. Look at this woolly stem, guys. You know what? It's little characteristics about certain plants that just make it go, oh, it just adds some character to it. You know what? It reminds me of Kentia palms. You can tell Kentias apart from other palms by their woolly stem. And those are like old fibers from old caterpillars and things. Look at that. Look how gnarly that is. Oh my goodness. So yeah, there he is, guys. So yeah, these are all the anthuriums that I grow in low humidity. And there are plenty of others that I just didn't have the willpower to like show you all of them. But you know, some of them are hybrids too. And like I was saying before, hybrids, they're pretty hardy. So, you know, they're all kind of the same. But yeah, guys, there it is. Oh! Now I'm going to make a family photo for the thumbnail. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. If you like this mess, please subscribe to this mess. And connect with this mess on Instagram, Plant Cake for Life. Leave a comment letting me know your thoughts. If you have any of these plants, let me know. Let me know how they grow for you. Yeah. I don't know. Is that it? Oh, and then I have decorative driftwood in here just to kind of keep the stems propped up a little bit so they're facing all the right way. But yeah, that's it. Because if I took this off, this guy bends over way too much, so I have this to keep him up a little bit. So yeah, that's it. All right, let's do the thumbnail. This has been Jake and Sarah, also known as Plant Cake for Life. Have a good day. Wait, no. Hold on. Ta-da! Oh! Oh! Right there. There. What else? Oh my god. Oh! Motherfucker. Alright. Oh, okay. That should be enough. Go.